Hello and welcome yet again to my platform. Sometimes I hear business owners talk about the need for a website, which is obviously not a bad idea, right? And they prioritize the building of this website so much. They give so much attention also to the beauty and the responsiveness of the website without necessarily factoring in how this website eventually generates sales or lead at the end of the day. If a business website is beautiful without considering sales or lead generation at the end of the day, it obviously becomes a beautiful nonsense. In this particular video, I will outline some of the things that must be found or that must happen on your website in order to help you generate leads or sales also. And this is why we will be considering the website conversion rate optimization. So welcome back. What exactly is conversion rate optimization, or CRO for short? I like how ChatGPT puts it, right? ChatGPT says conversion rate optimization is a process of testing hypotheses on various elements of a website to determine which changes result in improved performance and better conversion rates for a business. Yeah, so it is the process of testing out hypotheses or carrying out hypotheses on various website elements. And right now I'll walk you through on my board, breaking down this conversion rate optimization, just so that you can get to understand what we mean by testing out or carrying out hypotheses, right, on various website elements. It becomes also very important that you know what conversion elements are, right? Yeah, so let's walk to my board immediately. I like to teach, right? I'm a teacher. I'm a digital marketing teacher, a digital marketing coach, and I like to write so much. I like to teach some of these things. I like to teach these things so much, right? So let's get to the board. Let me teach you how that you can carry out hypotheses, right? And let me also teach you making you a list of various conversion elements so that when next you go all out wanting to build a website, a brand website, you will not only prioritize the beauty of the website, but also prioritize how that the website gets conversion also, so that you don't end up having a beautiful nonsense, right? Yeah, so let's get to the board immediately, guys. So here on my board, we will be looking at conversion rate optimization once again, right? So conversion rate so CRO for short. Now, note the keywords, right? The keywords were is a process, obviously, of testing out hypotheses. So testing hypothesis, right? And the next keyword is conversion elements, right? And of course, obviously, we are looking at conversion itself. So these three items becomes important for you to understand what exactly conversion rate optimization is, right? Yeah. So the very first thing is conversion element. Yeah, so let's say this is your website right here. And here we have the logo. Here we have the menu items, right? Maybe let's say we have a button right here. And here we have some text, right? And let's say here we have a form. Yeah, let's say we have a form right here, and maybe we have some sidebars. Yeah, some sidebars here. Maybe we have some couple of other texts right here. Yeah. So this is a typical example of your website. And in order to understand conversion elements, it becomes important also that we make this drawing, this sample drawing here. So now what exactly are conversion elements? Conversion elements, as the name sounds, are simply elements that help you get conversion on the website, right? So a good example of a conversion element may be a live chat, widget, right? So sometimes on your website, you have a section right here for live chats, right? So people get into your website, and the very first thing they want to do sometimes is to tap on the live chat button to do business with you, or to want to do business with you, right? So a live chat button becomes a conversion element. So a guy may not tap on the phone button to reach out to you. He may simply feel so comfortable tapping on the live chat to reach out to you. By that, you get both his phone number, his name, and maybe his email address, depending on how the live chat widget has been set up. So live chat is a good example, and of course, very important conversion element, right? So now live chat is here. We have a live chat button right here for an agent. So an agent is live, can chat with them here. So another example of a conversion element may be pop-up signals. Pop-up signals, right? So pop-up signals are good examples of conversion elements. So sometimes when you get to your website, sometimes, or when you get to some website, you will see a pop-up, a little pop-up at the top of the screen asking you to allow notification, right? So you can either choose to allow, or you can choose to deny. So this is what we call the pop-up signal or the pop-up notification. And there are various examples of, there are various companies or websites that allows you to set up this pop-up notification or signals. A good example of this company is what we call One Signal. So One Signal allows you to set up your pop-up notification. And of course, also I think Neil Patel has one. I may not readily recollect the name right now because I have not used his, right? But I've used the one from One Signal, and it is very important. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. So pop-up signal is a good example of a conversion element on a website. And that good example of a conversion element is heatmaps. So guys, heatmap is one of the best forms of conversion elements you can ever think of installing on your website. Of course, live chat is good. We all know how important live chat is, right? Another example like pop-up signal is also very important, but heatmaps is very important. And of course, also I will explain what heatmap is to you shortly. And I will even do justice to heatmap by sharing my screen and show you example of what a heatmap is, right? Yeah, I owe that to you. So heatmap also is a good example of a conversion element. And that good example of conversion element may be, let's say, live sales. Live sales notification, right? Live sales notification. Sometimes when you get to a website, you see, James from Houston has just bought a $10 worth of training package. Somewhere at the bottom part of a website, you see some of these live sales notifications, right? This sometimes motivate a guy to get convinced, right, that these things are actually working. So Joseph from Texas had just bought a package of $50,000, and had added it to cart, right? Let's say Elizabeth has just added a $10 worth of sales cost to the checkout. Let's say Halimat has just bought a $50 pair of sandals from the website in 10 hours ago, 10 hours ago, right? 10 hours ago. So this convinces a visitor that, oh, this thing is actually working. Let me also take advantage of this. So live sales notification is a good example of a conversion element, right? So apart from this, also testimonials. Testimonials also are very good examples of conversion element because testimonials have their way of motivating a guy to take that particular action, right? I mean, a lead action or a sales action, right? So the next conversion element may be a sales button. A sales button or a call to action kind of button that allows a guy to tap on maybe one of the buttons on the website, right? So if you have a button, a call to action button on your website, it becomes easy for a guy also to tap on that and place a call to you, or maybe fill a form. So another form of conversion element may be forms, right? So forms on your website. Forms on your website also are a good example of conversion element because they help to capture leads, no doubt, for follow-up, or maybe convince a guy to fill out his intention, fill out what exactly his needs are, and buy a particular product. So there are several other good examples of conversion elements, but because of time and the length of this video, let's simply limit this to what we currently have, right? And of course, we will continue from there. So moving on from here, so what is testing of hypotheses, right? Testing of hypotheses. I hope my hypothesis is correct. Yeah, so testing of hypotheses. So what exactly is hypothesis? Hypothesis is simply A/B testing. No hard definition to this, right? Simply carrying out A/B testing, testing out variant A or testing out variant B. So this is what hypothesis is simply about. So you are simply testing out hypotheses on each of the conversion elements. So let's say, for instance, on your website, you may test out live chat against live or fake sales notification, right? So you may carry out an hypothesis between live chats, right, and fake sales notification. So let's say, for instance, I am not too sure if live chat will help me get conversion. I may simply initiate a live sales notification alongside. Let's see which of these eventually helps convince a guy to do business with me, or which of these eventually helps me to get leads or get sales, right? So I may also add forms, right? Forms, well-built forms to the whole process. So testing out live chat or testing out forms, right, to see which of these helps me get most sales. Will people consider filling out a form more than they will want to chat? This is what we mean by testing out hypotheses, right? So will people eventually decide to tap on the live chat, or will they decide to fill a form instead? This is testing out hypotheses on your conversion element, right? So another form of hypothesis on a conversion element may be, do I test out having only a button with maybe my phone number linked on it, right? Or do I simply have a form? So you are simply going to be comparing forms and live chat. So you are simply going to be comparing forms and of course and a button on the website. So do your diligence, test out various conversion elements to see which of them eventually works for you. This is what we mean by conversion rate optimization. That singular process by which you test hypotheses on various conversion elements to see which of them eventually helps you get business conversion or sales conversion, right? So now, what are the types of conversion that we have? I have mentioned that already. We have a lead conversion, we have a sales conversion. You need to test out each of these elements to see which of them helps you get any of the conversion types of your choice. So if your goal is to generate massive lead, most likely you are looking at having a conversion element like form fields and maybe live chat also, testing out the two of them to see which of them helps you get the most conversion, the most lead conversion. If your intention is to have plenty sales immediately, you may test out phone button and maybe a live or fake sales alert, right, to convince a guy to click on this button and do business with you. So any one of these that you eventually settle with, right, you will need to carry out a hypothesis to see which of them helps you get the most results, right? So now let's hop to my screen. Let me explain what a heat map is, being a type of conversion element, right? And of course, I'll walk you through also how to set it up. And of course, show you a good example of one I did for my client sometimes back, just to give you a glimpse into what heat map is, right? And of course, how it can help you get the most of sales or the most of lead from your website. So once again, if you have a beautiful website without factoring in how this website gets conversion, lead conversion or sales conversion, it becomes a beautiful nonsense at the end of the day, right? So let's hop to my screen immediately. So first of all, what is heat map? Heat map is simply a graphical representation of data across your website. There may be a deeper definition into this, but yeah, basically it's simply a way of understanding what users, what visitors are doing on your website and leveraging on that information to make informed decision, right? I mean, decisions which obviously may include re-optimizing your website for better conversion or responsiveness, or maybe replacing various conversion elements across your website where the heat map has shown to possess good potential to get clicks from visitors, right? So once again, heat map is a graphical representation of what users are doing on your website. And sometimes this is represented by simply colors, right? Colors across your website. Yeah, you may not understand this anyways, just like this. So let's get to my screen and let me show what heat map looks like so you can get to see it. So in order to get heat map done properly, I use a tool called Hotjar, right? So Hotjar is actually a very good heat map tool by which you can set things up also, right? So let's get to see Hotjar, for instance. This is Hotjar. So Hotjar right here. So obviously what you want to do first is to create an account on Hotjar, right? By simply getting started right here. So in my own case, I already have an account. So once again, you can walk through this get started and the registration process is actually very seamless. In the course of registering, you ask for your basic information, probably your name, your email address, and some other basic items also. And you need to follow through, because in the process of following through, you will also get a code by which you can link Hotjar with your website, right? So I may not cover all of that in this particular video because I have an account already on Hotjar, right? So but just follow through. And of course, if you have comments or confusion about this, you can feel free to reach out to me in the comment section and I will look for a means of helping you out, right? So yeah, I will simply sign in right here on Hotjar. And when I sign in with my Gmail account, yeah, I registered, I signed up with my Gmail account, and now I'm signed in already. So yeah, this is what my dashboard on Hotjar looks like. And right here, since I have set up this properly, I've copied the code from Hotjar and pasted it at the header section of my WordPress website. So it has captured information from a client website, right? Where I actually installed it into. So now here on the recording sections, you will get to see all of the recordings, all of the items that had been recorded. So this one says this particular visitor checked through the website from the United States, this from the United States, and several other information as well, right? Like the actions they took, 7 actions, pages they visited, about 3 pages, and how many minutes or hours they spent on each of the pages that they visited, right? And of course, also the browser by which they visited your website. So this one says 30 actions taken. So let's play this, right? So if I click on play, you will get to see what this particular visitor or this user actually did on this website, right? You see some touch points, some locations across the website that this particular guy interacted with. So which is what Hotjar does. Once again, is a graphical representation of users' activities on your website. So right here, I have this is coming up, right? So the guy got into my website, and the next thing he did was to stay mute. He stayed mute, right? And then he wasn't doing any other thing. So let's increase this. Let's fast forward this a bit right here. So let's see. So the guy continued from here, and yeah, he scrolled, right? So the guy scrolled on the website, and he keeps scrolling, right? So the next thing he did was probably clicking on something. Yeah, he clicked on health services, right? Yeah, I think he clicked on something. Yeah, he did. He clicked on this to get to this particular category, braces, orthopedic supplies, and he scrolled once again to the bottom part of the video of the website, and continued to scroll also. So he clicked on foot and knee braces, and he clicked on read more, right? Yeah, he clicked on read more, and then he's scrolling. Probably he's checking out those items. Now he clicked on braces and orthopedic, and then he continues scrolling, right? Product category, braces and orthopedic supplies. So he's still scrolling. The guy is still scrolling, right? Let's see what else he's doing right here. So he's still scrolling to the bottom part of the page, and right now he's going to click on something else, right? So he clicks on this particular shoe, right? So this shoe opens up, and he scrolled, right? He scrolled to see pictures of this particular item, right? And then he closed. Probably he closed the account. So this is what Heatmap does. It captures visitors' activities on your website. It captures it and delivers it to you in the form of a video, so that you are better informed on where exactly on your website visitors are clicking on, and help you also make up your mind on what you can do to improve on the user experience of your website. So Heatmap is a conversion element because it allows you to position or reposition your website and get better results, better conversion like lead or sales conversion. I hope this makes sense to you. So thank you so much once again, guys, for making it down to this part of my video, right? I've taken my time to walk you through on conversion rate optimization. And of course, I remember vividly saying that if you have a beautiful website without considering how this website can convert into lead or sales, the website obviously will be tantamount at the end of the day to a beautiful nonsense, right? So support me by smashing on that subscription button, and tap also on the notification bell, so that when next I make quality videos like this, educative videos like this, you will not miss out on them. Until next time, let's call it a wrap from here.